Okay, this is our Mobility Wednesday, y'all. And I've been standing up since about 5 cooking because I'm going to have a group over. So you know what I'm going to use? A bar or a cane, a walking pole, a tea towel. That's what I'm going to use. And then we're going to get going. Okay. So using these items, and then I am going to pull my little pillow, my little disc out in just a minute because it's so good to help mobilize your feet. So the first part, all I'm going to do is just point down like this. See, I have my little cane right here. See that? I'm going to point and then I'm going to go into my heel. Starting out with, you don't really want to step on the balance pad because you're just waking your feet up. That's what I want you to hear, because sometimes we jump into our warm-up by overloading. Like on a balance pillow, your foot is going to really work a lot. Okay, so I'm just going to go heel toe. See that? And I got my little I went ahead and got a cane. Since so many people like, oh, I don't want to use a cane, I'm like, get over it. If you don't want a cane, get a walking pole. I usually do my little broom, but a lot of times you have a cane. And I want to show how to use that. So I'm going to use it just like a dowel. So what I'm doing right now is I'm merely shifting. So if I've overdone, if I am just waking up, I don't want to jump into a lot of very over the top moves. And when you step on these balance pads, your foot is going to be going all over. We're going to do that, but not right now. Do you see what I'm doing right now? Some of you are seeing that I'm going from hand to hand. I'm going heel toe. I'm barefooted. I'm not putting a lot of weight on my foot as I do my heel toe. But what you're not noticing and what I am doing very systematically is I am not overloading by pressing like this. I'm trying to keep my knee soft. And as I go from side to side, I'm not overusing my elbow and my shoulder. And that little phenomenon that I just showed you is what so many people, unless they've been trained not to, and even if they've been trained not to, they slip into it. So I see I put my little walking pole, my cane, my broom handle, whatever you got, and you're shifting it side to side. That lets you stabilize while you warm up your foot, your knee, your hip, your back, and your shoulders, because I'm going side to side and I'm being very careful not to overdo and push like that. Usually it's like this. This is what you see all the time. See this? This is what you don't want to do. Okay, so after I've done that a few times, I just grab my little pole, see, and I just bring my knee up, and I bring my knee up because I've already started the shifting, correct? So now I'm going to just bring it up a little bit higher. And so what's higher? Well, for some people it might be here, okay? And you just bring your knee up like that. So if you're super sore or you're super, when I say super sore, I'm going to say, Elisa went over the top on Monday. Anyway, I have to rag on you, Elisa. She did exactly what I wanted to do. She got a little sore, delayed onset muscle soreness, DOMS. That's what it is. But you see what I'm doing? See this? In my quest to be more mobile, I don't want to jump into these huge moves that you see done in different disciplines. Could be yoga, Pilates, it could be anything. I'm working in the zone, so to speak. You see this? And I'm turning. I'm not turning all the way around. I'm turning front, and then I'm turning to the side. And then I'm turning front, and then I'm turning to the side. I'm barefooted. I'm if I am a little iffy on my balance, I am not going to hold my bar all the way here. Okay, that would be way too far if I lost my balance. See that? So when you start this little move, see, start low, right here, and your tummy's in, breathing in through the nose. See, I'm not going all the way around. I don't want to get you dizzy right now. Maybe sometime I will, but not right now. Okay, turn. And see, see how I've got my elbows down here? See that? I start to move low level. I don't jump in and try to burn the bridge down at the very beginning, okay? And you see how whenever I go into this leg, I tend to overlean. I'm trying to not do that, because in this kind of a skill execution, you do not want to do the wobbly wobbly. That's exactly what those of us who have joints replaced start to do. If you notice that you are doing that, if you have a wall, right now I'll use my chair as a wall. See this? So rib cage is up, shoulders are down. My tummy is braced. I don't want you to pull in so hard that you cannot breathe. Do you see what I'm doing? You see what I'm doing? I'm rotating carefully from side to side, and it's helping me not to do that constant desire I have to overlean in order to keep my balance. So this is helping, just barely skimming the chair back. My shoulders are down. So I must tell you, for those of you who come on with me a lot, I tend to do extended warm-ups. I call them warm-ups because, see, I don't want to discourage the slugs that don't want to work too hard. So I call them warm-ups. We're actually doing the class, but we'll call it a warm-up. So you don't think, see, if you're too sore, you don't think it's going to be too hard. But you see this kind of thing that I'm doing? I'm in essence taking a walk right now. I'm just being very intentional about lifting the rib cage, and I barely touch the back of your back, your hips. See, I barely touch my gluteal, and it's going to keep me from doing that. This is what I do. If I go into here, I tend to overlean because this is my hip replace side. And I know that I have structures that are weaker, and I don't want to do that compensatory move because it's not going to help me to train to be more balanced. Does that make sense? Okay, drop your shoulders. Plus, oh, this is what I was going to tell you. Many times I have worked with people in senior centers. Sometimes their kids have hired me to go work with their, loved one that's in there. I've met some of the coolest people that way, by the way. And sometimes I've worked with them in their homes. Okay, this move right here that I'm doing with just, this is my insurance. Sure, if you can do it without that, well, just go for it. See that? But if you know that you're a little sore or you're a little out of balance somehow, which that could be most of us. That's how I am most of the time, out of balance. That's a joke. Kathy's rolling her eyes. I can feel it. She's saying, you have that right, Jeannie. Okay, see what I'm doing? This move, I am not kidding you. The exaggerated knee lift with a hold is how I start to help people that are having trouble walking to ambulate better, more smoothly, okay? And if you're not careful, If you're not thinking as you're bringing this up, see, we're barefooted. It will catch you. And if you start coming up too far, it'll throw you off, okay? And you'll get out of balance. That's okay. But be ready for that. Lest you think this is a kind of a nothing exercise, this is quite a something exercise, because as I continue to do that, I'm going to start manipulating my foot now. Now, if you start leaning out, pull yourself back, okay? For a lot of times, if I have several guys in my class, I'll grab a golf club. I always have a couple of sets of golf clubs. I had it at the gym. I use it all the time with my kids. But just a golf club. This is great for that. So as you're shifting now and you're bringing that leg up, I want you to start really holding it, okay? So again, this is my little insurance. I'm barely skimming. Whoop, see, I went off because I rolled that way. That's okay. In fact, I want you to get off balance a little bit, okay? You know why? Because that means you have to catch yourself. And what's the very first thing you're supposed to do? And you will only do it if you've trained to do it. And that little move that I just did, because I over rotated, I rolled on my ankle. The very first thing, if you get out of balance, that you do is what? Lower your center of gravity. Yeah. You'll even lower your center of gravity even before you put your foot down almost. That's where I want you. So I don't know if you've noticed this, but I started down here. I did multiple knee ups. Now I'm coming up here. You don't have to do this, but if you want to, okay? What I want you to do whenever that you come all the way up here is hesitate for just a second. Now, if you can move on and do at least 10 reps with a really good hesitation right here, 1001, 1002, 1003, then you're going to do a little punt, and then you're going to put it down. Okay, that little punt is going to really push you through your back, your flexors and extensors in your leg and hip. So I'm going to be on my challenge side right here. Okay, I don't want to overlean, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to push myself into this chair. See, just a little, not enough to push it over, but enough so that I can stay on balance, number one, and number two, not lean, okay? So I'm really working that very challenged side right now. Okay, take a breath. Then at the very end, you're going to do a punt. See, you're just going to do a little kick. And then you're going to come back down. And you're going to try to keep the knee up here at the 90 degree. See that? Okay. That series right there, because I stayed there for quite a while, really made you use your back extensors. As a matter of fact, you should be feeling your back extensors getting pretty tight. Therefore, we will take this right here. Now we'll start opening up the shoulders. Okay, drop the shoulders, and they're pulling together. And I'm going to hang out here. And then I'm going to step wide, and then I'm going to turn. And I'm going to bend that knee a little bit. So as I'm turning, I'm going to drop my shoulders. And so every time you drop your shoulders, you should be able to feel a wonderful opening of the whole shoulder girdle. See, I'm going to turn that knee, drop the shoulders, take a big breath, hang out here, drop the shoulders, and then come back. Then turn, and then come back. Drop your shoulders, take a big breath in through the nose, turn, drop your shoulders, and come back. Yeah, you have to keep dropping the shoulders or you won't get that, that opening in the pectoral like I want you to. Okay, one more turn. Turn, drop the shoulders, take a big deep breath. Yay. Bring it back in. Now we're going to use this again in just a second. Now I'm going to grab my little tea towel. So if you have a tea towel, grab it. A t-shirt, even a band, if you want a band, that'd be fine. So we're going to come up here and we're going to bring our neck up and we're going to go down and we're going to drop our chin. Okay. So this whole neck segment is going to be about neck tightness. Okay. Big breath. So I'm going to come here, right here. Yep. You're going to go down and you're going to go down. See that? So it's just an up. See this one, this fist is coming right here. And then it comes center and the fist comes right here. Like it's going into your chin. See that? See my elbows back? See that? Okay. Okay, here we go. We're going to come up and we're going to lift and look straight up there. We're going to bring this down and drop that chin down and look over that shoulder. So the hand that's down here, you're going to look over that shoulder. Okay. Soften up your knees. Come back to center. You're going to bring it up. You're going to look up. Look up. Take a big breath. You're going to bring that chin down. You're going to bring that arm down here. And you're going to look over that shoulder. Look as far as you can. Try not to tilt your head. Yeah, look over that shoulder. Take a big deep breath. Bring it back in and bring it back down. Yay. Okay. I'm going to put my tea towel there. I'm right here in my chair. I'm going to bring my hands in. I'm going to go through the 13 moves to get down into my knees and then back up. Okay. So we're going to go step by step. We're going to do a hyperextension, okay, of the back because we just did a lot of work that required your back extensors to be on fire right there, okay? So we're going to step, just shoulder width's fine, and we're going to come up, and we're going to bring our elbows together. We're going to soften our knees. And I'm going to bring my elbows up as far as I feel I can and just reach back as I push my hips forward, okay? So you're going to push your hips forward. Take a big, deep breath, big, deep breath, big, deep breath, big, deep breath. Push back, push the hips forward, push the elbows back, drop your shoulders, big breath. Then you're going to come up. You're going to come all the way down. Put your hands on your chair if you need to modify. If you can come down to your feet, come to your feet. If you can't, it's perfectly fine to come right here on the chair. The biggest requirement is you've got to keep your back extended, okay? So you say rib cage up. If you can come to your feet, come to your feet. And only then do you straighten the legs. So you can straighten the legs here and drop as low as you can, or here, okay? Then you can put your hands right here if you want to. You're going to put one leg forward and you're going to take the other leg back, okay? And you're pushing back on the heel. Drop your shoulders. So it's a nice press. Then you're going to bring that front leg back and you're going to hang out here for just a few seconds, okay? Just a few seconds. Take a big deep breath. Then we're going to bring our knees down right to there, okay? And if you don't want to get down to the floor, you do not have to. You do not have to go to this move right here. You can be right here and just come in here and go to the next moves. It's perfectly fine, okay? See, I can do all the next moves right here on my chair. I'm just showing you that. But if you came all the way down here, then you're going to reach those hands out and just really drop your forehead to the ground. Drop your butt towards your legs as best as you can. So when you have a replaced knee, there's only going to be so much you can gonna go to. Okay, that's just the way it is. Then you're going to come back and you're going to just press here. See that? This is a little modification of this whole 13 moves. Okay, so I'm trying really hard to get everybody a way to do a great hyperextension, okay? Not everybody can be down here and all the way down and then all the way into this and then up into a press, okay? Not everybody can do that. So the modification from this point right here, and you can be on the floor with your knees, or you can be right here. So I can do everything from this. Take a big deep breath. Okay. And then I'm just going to come simply and press the front of my hips, my pelvic bone into the chair. Okay. Drop your shoulders. Take a big breath. You're hanging your knees. Okay. Then I'm going to come right here. And I'm going to bring the other leg into the chair. So a while ago, you had the other one in. Now you put this one in. The reason I wanted you to do that, I was taking you down with one leg, and now I'm bringing you up with the other. Okay, so now my other leg is back. My other leg is front. And I'm going to bring the knee down and just press a little into that. Okay, then I'm going to bring that leg up. And at this point, if it is not a good move for you to go all the way to the floor with your hands, just put them right here and then straighten your legs. Bring your body right into the chair with your forehead. But if you want to go down and you can straighten your legs, then that's good. Then you bend them. So what I want you to understand on this particular move is that going down and coming up, I bent my knees. But when I'm down in the move, that's when I straighten my legs and get a huge stretch. Then you bend your knees, you come up, you push your hips forward again. So you push the hips forward, take a big deep breath, bring one arm back. You're reaching with one, you're keeping your chin tucked, okay? Your knees are soft here. Your knees are soft. Really pushing back and pushing forward, pushing your hips forward, then you come up and you switch. I'm gonna bring this hand back. I'm gonna push the hips forward, bend my knees, and I'm gonna reach forward with the other. Okay, hand. Take a big breath. Big breath, big breath, big breath. And bring them back up and bring them down. Yay. That took you all the way down one side and all the way up the other side in a full body folding hyperextension move so that you can move better. Okay, here's my chair. Okay, take a big breath. Always a big breath through your nose. Okie dokie. Okay, if you are sore from Monday, you're gonna feel it right here on this little move. Okay, so I'm right here. I'm gonna put my knee down here. Okay. So this one's important for a couple of reasons, not only for the quad, but what you're not seeing, I'll try to turn it so you'll see what I'm doing. Okay. So when I come here with a bare feet, and when you have joints replaced, a lot of times you don't really manipulate your toes and really stretch them, especially if you have feet problems. This is a great way to do that. So not only am I stretching right here, it should feel really good. Try not to turn. Try to go straight back as you have your toes curled. See, I'm pressing on the ball on my toes. See that? So keep bringing the knee back as far as you can, and you're leaning back. Then you come back around. You're right here. You come right. See, I'm going wide here because I want my groin, which is part of the whole hip complex, to gently move. So if I come down into here to a certain point and I keep my chin tucked and I bring it down as far as I can with my whole upper body working together. See, you can't round your back here. It won't work. Can't round your back. Okay? Drop your shoulders, take a big breath, and stay down there, and then go down just a little bit more. Okay? I know it. Trust me, you'll thank me when we're done. Really. Okay, so I'm stretching through the groin. Okay, now I'm going to put my hands here and help myself up. I'm not going to ask my back to pull me up from that point. Okay, that's a big move. If you have a delicate back, don't ask your back to do that. Okay, now I'm going to turn, put my knee down, and I hope you can see my toes here. See that? I can't even tell you. I would do this pretty regularly just for the toe and foot moves that it gives you, because you're not loaded. You can push as hard or as little as you want to on those toes. Okay, so I'm gonna lean forward and I'm gonna lean back. I'm gonna move myself forward and then I'm gonna lean back is what I mean. And if you're not getting a stretch on this quad, it's because you flared like this. That's why. So pull it in, pull that leg right in, and then just act like I'm patting you right here and I'm pushing you back just a little. So my foot is, wow, getting a big stretch, but this is getting a big stretch. So here's the deal. This is why I like to do this from a chair a lot of times. When you're really sore, a lot of times you're like, there's no way I can get down on the floor. And so you just don't do things. You can do this. You can do it if you're sitting in a chair anywhere. See, I'm hanging out here talking to you because I want you to hold it here for a bit. And then I want to come in. I want to take a big breath, and then I'm going to go back into it. See that? I'm going to turn my chin in this position, turn my chin on the other side, and I'm going to keep that knee down. Take a breath, turn, push back, turn, come back in, take a breath, go back, turn, breath, and then come back. Woo! Yes, that is a very important thing to do. Okay, again, so we did squats with weights, and I did holding squats on Monday. So, and if you really worked and you felt a little soreness here or a lot of soreness here, so when you really work a certain area, what happened was we figured out, my cousin Elisa, she called and was pretty sore. And see, she had left class and gone and done a lot of garden work where you squat on the same muscles that you just worked really hard on. Yeah, over the top, wouldn't you say? Okay, here I am. So now I'm going to do a very important move to help recovery, because you don't want to hit it again. You just want to move through a range. And one of those very important things are, whether you be on the ground or in a chair, is a hip lift. Okay, and then you come back down. Now, if you want to make this harder, all you have to do is put one leg here. See that? Drop your shoulders, very important. Drop your chin, yes. Keep my elbows in. I'm gonna put one leg here and I'm gonna lift this leg. See this? I'm gonna touch with my hip and then push up. I'm gonna touch with my hip and push up. So this is our glute lifts, okay, or glute bridges. Yeah, so you can do this. You can do it from a chair. You don't have to lay down. If you need to, put a pad under your hands, that's fine. Drop your shoulders. We're gonna do about 6 more. Are you ready? So we're gonna come right here. So I'm gonna go up as far as I can, do a little knee movement. See, there's that punt again. Make sure you keep your shoulders down. Lift, bring the hips to the chair and then up. Hips to the chair and then up. Hips to the chair and then up. Take a breath, up. Take a breath. You only got one more, just one more. I'm doing this with you. Right there. And come back in. You should have felt that there and gently here. That's why I'm doing it. Okay. Take a big breath. Turn. Reach your hands back to your chair back. Look all the way as far as you can over your shoulder. Like really pull. Really pull, really pull, really pull, really pull. Take a big deep breath. Come back. Other side. Here we go. Grab the chair. Turn and look over your shoulder. Say rib cage up. Breathe through your nose. And make sure you keep your shoulders down. And then come back. Take a big breath. Now we got the other leg, correct? So these are just gluteal gluteal bridges. That's all this is. I'm trying to get you to get your gluteal muscles on board with your movement. And this is one of the best ways. There's several different moves to do that. This way, now this time, this leg's coming up, this leg is staying down. Again, if you don't want to do 2 alternating, then you do 2 together, okay? So see, I'm here, I'm gonna do 2 together. So this is upper body, mobility, strength moves. I'm gonna bring my butt up, okay? Then I'm gonna lift the hips and then bring the hips right to here. Lift the hips, squeeze the hips, bring them right to here. Keep your shoulders down, lift the hips, squeeze the gluteal, bring them down, okay? Now, sometimes that's not enough for people to really innervate their big gluteal muscles. That's why, give it a shot, give your hands breaks, okay? Take a breath, drop your shoulders, yeah, put that foot right in the middle, lift the other leg up, lift your hip up, you're gonna come down to the chair, and then you're gonna come back up. You're gonna come down to the chair, and then you're gonna come back up. See that? Breath, back up. Here we go, breath, drop your shoulders, back up. Try your best not to wobble that leg. I know it's gonna wanna wobble. Push, back up, couple more, big breath, breath, and come back in. That should have gotten into the gluteal. Okay, so stop and take breaks as you're doing this. If you're feeling pressed on your hands, use the pad, use the chair pad, that's perfectly fine, okay? Take big breaths, big breath, big breath. So it is a great big benefit for you to do those moves to get your gluteals front and center, okay? Now I'm gonna just come, stand up. Now I'm gonna follow that with yet a second move to get my gluteals firing. If you want to use a chair to put your hands on, you just turn it around, If you can use a wall or a counter or a bed, do that. But I'm going to be right here, and I'm going to bring that leg back, and then I'm going to bring it up. See that? I'm going to slide it back. So now I'm refiring and mobilizing some of the very structures that I went all the way through. I just hit them. I went through in those 13 moves, down and back up. Take a big breath, press back down, and come back up, and press back down, okay? Now, once you're back there, you want to press toward the chair, and you want to lift that leg right there. See that? And I'm going to go wide, then I'm going to come back in. And I'm going to go point, flex, and then I'm going to go press. See that? So go wide, flare, back, point, flex, drop your shoulders, and lift as far as you can, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. Bring it back down. Take a big deep breath, step back, and step back. Sorry about that. Here we go. I just wanted you to step back and step back as a recovery because we're going to go the other leg now. So if you can remember to do some of these back leg lifting type things, if that's how you categorize it, it will really help you to get your gluteals working. So I'm going to step back, I'm going to lift, and then I'm going to open wide. I'm going to lift and open wide. I'm going to lift and open wide. I'm going to lift and open wide. Take a big breath, big breath, big breath. So when you lift, this knee is bent. You're pushing your butt back. When you lift right to there, you're really tightening here in the gluteal. Then you open wide, you do your point and flex, and you do your point and flex, and you do your point and flex, and bring it back in. So it doesn't have to be hard. When we're doing our hip lifts, that can get hard, but just this move right here, without turning your toe out, will really help you get the gluteals firing. It's very important for you to do that kind of a motion. All right, big breath. So we're going to cross over and we're going to cross over. So a big important part of keeping your balance, I've told you this before, but we're barefooted today, right? And then we're going to use our little pad here in just a second. So multiple crossovers, and you can do opposites with your hands. That's a good thing. You just tap here and you tap back and you tap here and you tap back, you tap here and you tap back. See that? Yeah. And then you take a big step across, and then you come over to this side, just like that. So you step across, and then you step over to this side. See, that's that. I'm taking you step by step to do the pattern walk. If you cross over, see, the back leg is the one that steps. And don't get confused because you think it's going to be something hard. Just step out. That's fine. So once you've crossed over, see, I'm on the opposite leg. Just step out. Okay, what I'm showing you right now is some real basic stuff that people just don't do for their walking gait, for their balance. One of the biggest ones that I focused on in the beginning was, of course, the step ups, right? Now we're going into pattern walking, okay? So if I bring you over here and I tell you to step up there, you're gonna go in your head, See, all you have to do is step out. Now step up. See that? It has to do with how you're using your brain, right side, left side, directional, that whole thing. Okay? So now I'm gonna step over here. Now don't get all discombobulated. But if I told you I want you to step up there, from here, you might like go, I don't know what you mean. So I'm just saying step out of that move and then step forward. Okay? So these kinds of pattern walking and these types of little strategies, especially if you've had joints replaced, especially if you've had foot problems, etc., very beneficial. And people just don't do them because they don't think about it. Okay, let's do one more. Let's just do one more. I will encourage you that if you're walking, just take about 10 to 20 steps and do these things. See this? See, like that and like this. Now, so what is different? Okay, instead of going like this, you know what I did? I went like this. I know. So as you're standing here, just step back. Okay. So this is a very typical dance step, actually. Julie can show us. But you see how I just crossed midline and I stepped back? That's enough to get you to say, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's all I did. Instead of going across like this, I went like this. Okay? I just stepped behind and back. Behind and back. Okay? So now we're going to go like this and like this, and we're going like that. See that? So I use what we just learned how to do, right? And I can step over and back to the side and then back behind and then come back to the middle. So I can go front or back because we practice them both, right? So if you go back and step wide and then go front. So I'm showing you a typical dance step, all right? They are very beneficial, but people don't do them because they get discombobulated. So I just took you through the breakdown of it. And why am I doing this morning? Because this is Mobility Wednesday. Oh my goodness. If you can learn to do one or two simple basic steps. See, I just stepped wide, I stepped behind, I stepped wide, I stepped in front. Okay? This combined with these 90-degree lifts, combined with these and lifts, whoa, there you have it. See, I'm gonna go wide, step across, wide, step across, step wide. So you step in front or you step in back. So I wanted to take just a minute to show you some of those little maneuvering things, okay? Now, we're gonna use our chair. Take a big breath. Those of you remember, I started you on push-ups on Monday, didn't I? This is Mobility Wednesday. What does that have? We can't do push-ups on, no, we can. Yes, we can. So we're gonna go right here on our chair. And I'm just going to take a modified approach. And I'm gonna keep my chin tucked. And I'm gonna come down with my elbows right there. And then I'm gonna press into my hands, okay? I'm hoping that you guys, all of you, even though I know not all of you will persist at this, you really can do a push-up. You really can get the benefits of these. If you keep your chin tucked, and then you come back, take a big breath, you come back down, look at my elbows are in, and I'm pressing in the palm of the hand. As I go down, I pull my elbows in, and I'm using both feet. It's actually a really good move on my ankles here. And as I get down here now, I'm just gonna really pull those elbows in, push into the heels, and I'm gonna push back up, okay? Now I'm gonna take one leg, I'm gonna keep one foot where it's at. I'm gonna take one leg back, okay? Now I'm gonna rotate in and come back. Take a big breath, keep your chin tucked, keep your tummy tight. You're gonna come down and then come back. You should be feeling this on the back part of your arms. If you're not, my guess is you're flaring your elbows. That's number one. I mean, it could be a number of things, but that's the number one reason. So as you're coming down, you roll those elbows in. Now you come back up. So see, I only did like what, three or four with one leg back. Then I'm gonna press back. I'm gonna bring my hands down here, do a little swing, swing, swing. Okay, swing, 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 swing. Bring those elbows right here. Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath. Keep your chin tucked. Put your hands here again. Switch your feet. Keep one leg there, one foot there, I mean. Drop your shoulders, take the other leg back. You're gonna bend both knees, okay? Stay with me. Rotate your elbows in and come down. Now, as you're coming up, you come up by pushing through your hands, not just your legs, okay? So I want to more and more put it on the hands. You're using your legs a little, but I'm using my arms and hands to push myself up the most. And you should definitely be feeling this in the back part of your arm, okay? Keep your chin tucked. Take a big breath through the nose. Stay mostly on your arms and hands to get you up. Take a breath, bend the knees, drop your shoulders, and bring your leg up. Come down and come up. You should be really feeling that right there. So, why am I doing this strength move on a Mobility Wednesday? Because I'm going to do variations of push-ups, body weight, almost every day now throughout the summer, because I want to get people ready for skiing and snowboarding and gardening and doing all that kind of stuff. And I'm telling you, one of the best ways is to learn how to handle your own body weight. Modified push-up first, and I'm doing very modified. If the chair is too much for you, guess what you do? You get yourself on a wall or a high counter, but a wall is probably the best. You do the very same thing. You're just pushing here. It's going to be a lesser challenge. That's the first challenge. This is the second or higher challenge. And then of course, down on the ground is the third, okay? So now when we're here at the chair, we're gonna do our cat camel. We're gonna rest our arms. We're gonna put our elbows into the chair. And if you want to, this is a great time to bring your little pad on your chair. So you're right here. You're gonna drop your chin. You're gonna push yourself back until you feel that stretch through your shoulders. You drop your chin, you don't drop your head, you drop your chin. There's a difference. Your ears should be at your biceps right now. I'm pushing back with my butt as I hang on with my hands to the back of the chair. Breath, big breath, great big breath, push, pull. Push, pull, push, pull. Now you come right back here and you go into a big rounded shoulder. Then you come down into the the camel, okay? And here you have to drop your shoulders and you're pushing your butt back. And if you wanted to be on the floor and do the classic cat, camel, that would be good. But many of you don't want to, or you can't, you find it very hard to get on the floor, and I understand that. But I do know that this is a move that, especially if you can't get on the floor, this is a very important move. See, I'm doing the cat camel the whole time. Drop your shoulders. They're going to keep wanting to come up around your ears. Don't let them do it. Now go into the cat, mad cat, and then camel. So you see all that movement that's going through that back, going through the shoulders. Whoa. Take a big deep breath and come back up. Now you're ready to do a turn like that. See that I just turned like that? So I got 1 foot straight, 1 foot turning, right? And then I'm just going to bend that. I'm going to bend it as far as I can over the toe, as far as I can, because it's a good move. But you need to do it when you want to do it, okay? So you feel a little stretch through the groin, a little. If you can step a little wider, step a little wider. If you can't, that's okay. Do it narrower. If you're having a struggle with your balance and you're like, oh, forget this. No, that's when you bring your chair or your little third point of contact. See this? See this? Whoa, see there? There you go. This way, and I got my third point of contact right here. So this is a very good move to push through your knee, your ankle, and your hip joint. And you come back. See that? Step right here. Okay, you ready? So if you've got hips and knees and joints replaced, anybody that is looking at what you're doing and they're going, oh, you know, that's not very valuable. Let them be in your place with a joint replaced. It's a big deal. So I'm going to turn, and you might have tightness in your hip. I have tightness right now. I know it. This is my good hip. I'm going to go out. I'm just going to work it through, and I'm going to keep moving and mobile. And yes, you know, you'll address it, but you can do these moves. You must do these moves. That's why I'm doing them with you, okay? I'm right there with all of you. So this leg is straight. This leg is bent. And see how I'm creeping it out? Yeah, I'm creeping it out so that I push the knee more right there. So when people go into this big old move, they don't stop and tell you these little nuanced things. I know it because I've been in many classes. They just go into this big warrior move and it's all, you know. I'm like, what if your joints don't move that way? I know. So push. See, I'm pushing this forward. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm about here. Here's my little, if I need a third point of contact. But what you must not do in this move is do this. Okay? So rib cage up, very extended, chin tucked, push the knee out over that toe. Yeah, make sure this leg, this foot is straight. This foot is this way. See that? And I'm showing you this, not because I need it, it's because that is acceptable. You can use that. Don't overuse it. So this is really like a balance maneuver, okay? But keep that rib cage really up there, really pushing. Then when you got to get out of it, you're like, I don't think I can get out of it. You creep. See? You creep with your toe. You creep just like that. And then you do a crossover. Give yourself a big hug, cross over. And every time you cross over, you drop your arms. You drop your shoulders and you say rib cage up, just like that. And then make sure that in your quest to have better posture, that you give yourself a break, okay? How do you do that? You do turning, you loosen your knees, you do turning, Keep your shoulders down. And then you do the C move. You go like this. You push back and you just go into a C with your upper back. Drop your head. And then you come back up and you drop your shoulders. And you take a great big deep breath and you go, oh man, I feel so much better now that I've stopped. That's a joke.